Hello and welcome back for another vlog. I had a subscriber message me wanting to know how I pack the milk bottles. I have those out in my storage building right now, and because we are having a bear problem around our house, I do not want to go outside. Not that I'm afraid of it, I just don't want to disturb it. I'm hoping it's going to go away. Anyway, the subscriber wanted to know how I wrap and make the box for these bottles. So, again, the bottles are out in the building, and I'm going to go ahead and use these jars. They're about the same size. Some of the milk bottles are more rectangular. So I have some jars in here. I think what I'll do is I'll use this one in place of this one to kind of have the oddball in. So, this is how I do it. When I have any glassware, what I do is, let me go ahead and get these wrapped up here. And I'm going to do this sloppy but quick, just to give you an idea. I probably should have wrapped these before I started the vlog, but a lot of you like to actually see me wrapping it. What I do is when I wrap these jars, I take my hand and I go around it like this. And if I can feel the glass through this bubble wrap, then I'll put another layer of bubble wrap around it. And the same goes for the ends. Which the ends, when you have excess like that, you always have enough. So again, this is just going to be quick to give the subscriber an idea and give anybody else an idea. It's easier for me to do this than it is to try to type it out. So on this one, as you can see, I can feel the jar. So what I'll do is I'll take another piece of bubble wrap and I'll just break it in half. I will double it. I'm going to go ahead and triple it and put it in between this here. And right now, I'm not filling the jar anywhere. So I'm going to do it quickly. And what I'm going to do is just do one layer, because these are currently listed and I do not want to damage them. So I'm just going to do one quick layer. Try to get through this as fast as possible. Don't roll off there. So I'm sitting here doing this, and I know I've already got an odd jar in, which is going to be this one. So I'm sitting here thinking of how I'm going to make the box, which box I'm going to use. Should I use like a flimsy cardboard? No, definitely no. You do not want to use like toilet paper or paper towels. You do not want to use that plastic on. I mean, you do not want to wrap any glassware. Oh my gosh. You do not want to put any glassware in a flimsy box. You want a more rigid box, a harder cardboard. So, what I'm going to do is, I've got too much stuff laying here. Okay, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and start with the oddball out jar is what I'm going to call it. Of course, I don't have any bubble wrap on the bottom. I would put at least 2 inches of bubble wrap on the bottom. And the reason why I put at least 2 inches of wrap around my jars is that when these boxes are in shipping, you got to assume these boxes are going to get thrown around, kicked around. They could fall off of a pallet. And those of you that don't know, when stuff goes priority mail, 95% of it is by airplane. And what they do is they take these big pallets, I think they're a 6x6 size, and they have these big plastic like bubbles, and they pack all of these boxes down in it. And then, I mean, I don't know how they navigate the boxes, putting them in these things, but it's like, it ends up being like a bubble, like a circle, and then they're pushed into airplanes, and then they're flown and shipped like that. So that is how your priority mail gets from point A to point B. From there, it can change airplanes. So that's why I'm saying you have to assume these boxes are going to be kicked around. They can hit turbulence, and once they come off the plane, then they go, if that pallet goes to another airport, then it'll just go from here to here and wait on the next plane. And then if that pallet comes off at that airport, and then it sits there and waits for a semi-truck. So you have a carrier, a broker carrier, you have an independent driver. We work in the trucking industry, so we know how all this stuff moves around. And my husband has actually hauled the freight, the mail pallet freight, out of airports. So he knows exactly where this stuff comes in, how it comes out of the airport. So then it's loaded by the pallet, same pallet, packages and everything, into the semi-truck. And from there, it's either delivered to distribution centers, or it's taken to the actual post offices themselves. If they have that one whole pallet goes, I'm going to holler, I don't mean to be hollered in your ears. Daryl, does the pallets actually, did you ever take any pallets to the actual post office?
No, yes I have, but you got to...
He's coming in here to explain it to y'all, how when the pallet is on the truck, though I know how it does, I want him to explain it to y'all because he actually drove the pallets with the packages to wherever they go. Would you explain to them how?
Well, it goes to the warehouse, from the postal warehouse onto a truck after it comes off the airplane. May go through 2 or 3 different postal warehouses, and then it gets shipped to the local delivery point, post office, and from there it goes out to the people who you're shipping it to. But
so when it comes off the truck and goes to the distribution center, from there it's the wrap is taken off of the packages, and then each package mostly is put on a conveyor belt, and on the conveyor belt they have lasers that reads the barcode, and they can go this way or that way, but it's like belt driven. From my understanding, some of the smaller post offices are done by hand, and that's why I'm saying you have to assume that these boxes are going to be dropped off a conveyor belt, or they're going to be thrown, because I've seen some post offices that have these big buggies, and they're probably about 4 feet tall and probably about 4 feet by 6 foot, and the packages sometimes are actually thrown in the buggies. I've actually seen that with my own eyes happen before. But what I do is I put fragile, do not drop or crush glass. I put that in big letters.
But that does not mean anything as far as the postal employees goes, because I have actually literally seen FedEx and the Postal Service. They stood at the back of my truck and just slung stuff into the back of my truck. So And then regardless of what it was, whether it had fragile or glass or whatever wrote on the box, they didn't really care. They just throwed it. So this is why we have to go to extra mile to make sure that it's padded correctly and stuff so it don't get damaged.
We've never had any glassware to break in shipping, so I want to make that clear.
Yeah.
But the reason why I put fragile, do not drop or crush glass on it is to, if for some reason this box gets crushed, the customer, the buyer, will know that I went to great lengths to tell people that this has glass in it. Do not drop it or crush it. So that comes across to me, and even as a buyer myself, when somebody sends me a box and it's got that written on it, I'm like, wow, this seller went to the extra length to put on the box. So I will write that on the box on all sides, and even on the top and on the bottom, because you never know. Okay, so UPS, FedEx, I have friends that works at UPS, FedEx, and the post office, and I've asked them how the inner workings is. You can watch vlogs on YouTube, you can Google it, and it will show you how that stuff is sorted. A lot of people do not realize that. A lot of people think that it's picked up and it's going straight to the house. It never happens like that. So once, if I take this box to the post office, what happens is they have a box truck for our local post office. We have a box truck, and it's a 24-foot box truck? Yeah. It's about a 24-foot box truck. And he is a contractor, carrier for the post office, and what he does is he'll pick up at certain post offices that he has a contract with. He would then take all of those packages to a distribution center, and from there they're put on conveyor belts, and they're sent out to the larger post offices in whichever branch they need to go. They're in where the larger city is. It's 50 miles from me. There is a large airport there, so that's where the priority mail goes, and it's flown out. I have been told, and actually experienced it myself. I have one package that got lost in mail and kind of got caught in the loop, if that's what you want to call it. And I went to the post office because when I sell an item, I always keep an eye on the tracking because I want to know where my package is. If I see there's a delay or something's going to go wrong, I'm going to message that buyer up front and say, hey, I was looking at the tracking. It looks like to me the package is caught in the loop or a post office or something. I will go to my local post office the next morning and ask them about it. In their system, sometimes they have the ability to pull up more specifics than what you see online. And the one time that this package did get caught in the loop, it had what I'm going to assume is the whole pallet got routed to the wrong airport and was sent back. There was a 2-day delay, and when I kept messaging the buyer to let them know, they sent me a message back and was really, really pleased with the communication I kept with them. And I actually have their message that they sent me, and the person said that we were the most thorough seller that they've ever dealt with on eBay, and she gave us really, really good feedback. So that's why I stress the importance of packing anything glass very well, because it can happen, and it will eventually happen. Okay, so back at the ranch, we're going to do this. I got this box here, and it's a sturdy, so I'm going to look at it and say, okay, should I go like this, upright, or should I lay it down? So when I lay it down, I got a little bit of room on the sides, but you got to figure I'm going to put more packing on this, so it's going to be a sturdy fit once I put it in here. So I'm going to leave that one right like that. That's good. Then I'm going to take another one and set it on top. Try to somehow even it out. Okay, we got it pretty even. So what you have here is flaps that go like that. Okay, you don't want that. This is what I do. I've gotten so used to making my own boxes, I crimp the cardboard like this. And I'll go around each side and I'll do that. Sometimes if I want a cleaner line, a cleaner crease, I'll put it on the edge of my table and push down on it. But for this here, this is just setting an example. This is just an example. So then what I do is I fold in the ends like this. And if you have like a gap up here at the top, I save all the bubble wrap and packing material I come across. You can put something like this in here to make it a little bit of a tighter fit. Okay, so like that. See, this took up the extra space. Okay, and then I'll put these flaps in like this. Of course, it's not going to be like that because I got that. I got to put some more wrap in here. So we're going to go like this. But hold your horses. I still got something else I got to do. So then you're going to take your tape gun. Good grief, I'm losing my mind. You want to go like this. And what I do to make these more sturdy, when I'm just using this as an example, to keep this from falling in, what I do is I'll go like this, put one side out and the other side in. And I'll just do this all the way around it. I'm doing this quickly. I don't know if this is a new seller or buyer or what, but they have requested this vlog, so that's the reason why I'm doing it. Okay, then what I do is I'll find me another piece of cardboard that's of the same thickness, and what I'll do is, if this is still pushing in right here, then I'll go here and cut a notch and put that in, and then this takes care of the hole up here, right like that. Perfect. Okay, so I got these two and I got this box. Next one. This is where it gets interesting. So I'm just going to do this one. I'm going to pretend like I don't have any other boxes, which I do. But this is going to be just a pretend. Do keep in mind again that even though there's 2 inches here, I've still got more bubble wrap to go on. So I'm going to go ahead and pack this like this. So I'm going to do it like that just to hold these sides up. Let's see. What kind of fit do I want? When I do this, oh, this is going to be a good one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I brought this to the very edge, right here. You want to put your hand and put it flush. And yeah, I still got that bottle to go to. But hold your horses. And what I do is I come across like this. That holds these flaps up. Then what I do is I go back here and I'll cut along the edges like this. Oh, these scissors are junk. And then, so I have this, then I will take this and crease it and fold it up. But you want to figure about where the end is. And what I do is I take my fingers and I'll hold the end of it. And I'll take these fingers to match where this is. And I'll fold it up like that. Right like that. Then you take the end, the edges, or the sides, and you fold them in flush with that. Right like that. Right like this. So there's that. Okay. And you're thinking now, well, how in the heck is that end going to come out? Just watch and you'll see. So then I'm going to take this other one and I'm going to put it here. And what I do is, I'll take this and I'll put it like this because my edges are going to match. do it like this. Now, here's the tricky part. You want to go back in, cut along the top edge here, and go straight down. But you want to try to get it even with this box. So, hit that. Get on there. So you're going to take the top here and you're going to feel. You're going to push that down. You're going to bring this in. And you're going to bring this one in. I hate it when this happens. And you're going to tape all that together. Okay, so now we have this, and you're thinking, how are we going to fix that? Well, because these flaps are sticking out, I'm going to put tape at the top because I don't want any slack in the cardboard. This tape does not want to stick. And then what I'm going to do is look up here and see if I have any more sturdy cardboard. Oh, and I know some people are a fan of these flat rate boxes. I can't use this for this, and some people can't understand that concept. We do not sell the same thing all the time. So these things for us, I probably use these things maybe 1 out of 500 or 300 packages. And these things can cost more for the customer. So it's cheaper 99% of the time to do this than it is this. I did buy one time from a customer and a seller, and they used this large flat rate box. And I saw the shipping cost, and I was like, you know, that's awfully high. So I went ahead and paid it, and I was like, well, you know, that might be about right. And I think it was coming out of, I want to say Missouri. So I went ahead and paid for it because we had to have I had to have this, and it was a piece of clothing is what it was. And I don't know why the seller put it in this huge, large flat rate box, but it was a thin rayon shirt, and I was like, what? When I got it, they could have sent it first class and made a simple little box like this. But then I was like, why did the seller do that? I didn't message, I didn't complain or anything. I left them positive feedback, but I was like, nope, not going to happen again. So what I'm going to do is look up here, and I actually have some pieces. And I'm going to go here. I'm going to start with this one. And I know you see this here, but what I'm going to do here in a few minutes is going to fix all that. So what we're going to fix the top of this. And we're going to go like this, but the flat, I'm going to crease the flaps over here. So you're going to have this. And then you're going to go over the top. Because when you do that, then that's going to flatten this down more. And then you're going to go like this. Ow. And this tape gun is going to have to. You're going to do that, and then you're going to come over here, and you're going to do this side. Now keep in mind, this is just sloppy because I want to go ahead and get this vlog out. Okay. Now, you're going to do this. So I'm going to take a piece of this. Actually, I'm going to leave that. Make another flap. Come across. Then what I do is I hold it up, and I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? So, to make this box tighter, I'm going to go like this, and this, and then I'm going to go around it like this, like that. Oh, come on. But I will go around this box several times, and even on the bottom, to hold these flaps in. Okay, now there you have it. No sinking in anywhere. Then, I only put 2 jars per box because that just decreases the chance of it breaking. So then what I'll do is I'm going to take them like this, and because the sizes don't match up, this is what I'll do. Sometimes I'll take a piece of cardboard and go like this. And go like this. But, oh my goodness, this tape gun. Or is it the user? Anybody else have fights with their tape guns like that? I do it almost every time. And then I'll take another piece of cardboard and slant it over like that. And then I'll do this side like that. But then what I'll do is I end up using a whole roll of tape that's going around and around and around and around to keep this from sliding around. And then you want to make sure you go over the top and do an X. Then, when you get done with all that, I'm going to go up here and measure it. Alright, it's 14 tall, 12, and you want to make sure you push it against the wall, 11. And what I do is, to cover my tail in, I'll go up here on the top, and I will write 14, 12, 12, 11. And then, I'm going to weigh it. £6, 1 ounce. And then I'll go 6.1. 6.1. And then I'll print my label, and I'll put my label up here. And then I'll write the fragile and all that good stuff on each box. And the reason why I put the weight and the size up here is because if anyone ever has anything negative to say about the packing, you could also even put the boxes upright like this and wrap them. But the reason why I put the weight and the size here under the label is because if someone ever says, why did you charge so much for shipping? The shipping calculation is off the size and the weight. So what I will tell the customer is, if you will take the size and the weight and go in the USPS or UPS and get a rate quote, that will show you how much the actual shipping is. And actually, I did have that to happen one time. And what happened was the customer had opened a case against us. So, I called eBay, excuse me, and told them that the weight and size is under the label. And I don't know what they did, but they had, I don't know if they messaged or called the customer and said, can you get the size of the boxes and the size and weight and send them to us. Well, they got the size and the weight, and sure enough, it matched up with what I had on top of the box. eBay sided in my favor. So that's why I say, if anything at all, cover your tail end when you're doing stuff like this. But this is how I do all of my boxes. I know this looks natty, but I haven't gone around it and put all the tape on it or any of the cardboard or anything. I don't want to waste my tape with this, but that gives you an idea of what I do. And I'm sorry this vlog is so long, but that was, I wanted to give people a little education about freight, how this stuff moves around, and everything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I don't want to make this vlog any longer than what it is.